Okay, so question number 8a. Factorise 3x minus 15. Very simple. X but no x. So I can't pull x out. And remember, factorise means put into brackets. So we're going to have brackets here. So we've just got the numbers, so it's a question of what number divides into 3 and 15. Now I know 3 goes into 3 and 3 goes into 15. So I pull that out. Now it's just a question of 3 times what will give me 3x. Well, 3 times x will give me 3x. I put in the minus. 3 times what will give me 15. 3 times 5 gives me 15. 3 times minus 5 gives me minus 15. That's it. Nothing more complicated. So part B, multiply out. So we're going the other way this time. So 5 is multiplying everything inside the bracket. So 5 times y is 5y. 5 times 4t would be 20t. Now we've got a minus and a plus here, remember. So a plus times a minus gives me minus, and 5 times 2 gives me 10. Okay, so my answer, I can't simplify this anymore because we've got y, t and no values, no unknown. So we can't do anything more with that. So we would just have 5y plus 20t minus 10. Nothing more that we can do with that. Part C, and this is important, solve. Okay, now here these two don't have equal signs, so we can't solve it. So don't look to try and solve anything and find values. Here we can. So to solve it, we don't like brackets, so we want to get rid of that. So the first thing we do is expand the brackets. So 3 times w is 3w. And remember everything in the brackets. So 3 times 2 is 6. And this will equal 2w minus 1. Now my biggest value of w is here. So all w's are going to gravitate towards it, all numbers will go away. Okay, so 3w minus 2w, because anything that goes over the equal sign in any direction, the sign changes, equals minus 1, plus 6 comes over and becomes minus 6. So 3w take away 2w gives me w minus 1 minus 6. So if I'm £1 overdrawn and I draw out another £6, I'm now £7 overdrawn. So w equals minus 7. Okay, nice and simple, 3 marks, but this is where the marks are here. This is only ever worth 1. This is where the marks are. Okay, so that's question 8 done. So now I'll move on to the next question. Okay, so question number 9. When a jug is 1/5 full of water, it weighs 250 grams. When the same jug is 4/5 full of water, it weighs 550 grams. So the question is, how much does the jug weigh when it's empty? Well, if when it's 1/5 full of water it weighs 250 grams, so that's the weight of the jug plus the 1/5 of water. Oops. So if the jug is 4/5 full of water and it weighs 550 grams, if I take this 1/5 of water, 1/5 full, okay, which is the jug plus the water, yeah, away from this 4/5, then that'll tell me what the water weighs. Okay, I hope you understand that. So if we take away the jug plus the water away from the 4/5, this will just tell us what the water weighs. So 4/5, okay, equals, I'm just going to write what's already here, 550 grams, okay, and 1/5 equals, I believe it was 250 grams. So from the 4/5, if I subtract 1/5, this will give me 3/5 of the jug. Yeah, a jug of water. So 550 minus 250 equals 300 grams of water. Don't worry if you're writing across the page. Okay, so 3/5 equals 300 grams of water. So from that we can say that 1/5 equals 100 grams of water. Forgot how to spell water there. So we can then say that the 250 grams minus the 100 grams of water will give us 150 grams. So we can say here that the jug weighs 150 grams, okay? So remember, if the jug and the water weigh 250 grams and then you top it up with another 3/5 with water, this is all water. This extra 300 grams that we're pouring in is all water. Okay, so if that 300 grams is all water, that's the weight of the jug at 4/5, subtracting the weight at 1/5, which proves that we've got the 300 grams of water. So that's 3/5 of the jug. So 1/5 of the jug would only contain 100 grams of water. Okay, so the remainder of that 250 grams must be the weight of the jug, which is 150 grams. So I really do hope that I've got that across to you, okay? But you need to put it out. You don't have to write it exactly the same way as I've done, as long as the examiner can see what you're doing and why, and how you've got to that result, okay? So I'll move on to the next question. Okay, so we come to question number 10. Work out the 3 inequalities that describe the shaded region. Okay, so all of this has been shaded, and we have 3 lines that are blocking this triangle in. Okay, and they want to know what the 3 inequalities are. Okay, so I always start with the easy stuff first. So all of these lines are solid. Okay, if you go back to my inequalities recording, you'll see about solid and dotted lines. So all of these lines are solid. So I know they're less than or greater than and equal to. Okay, so here we're only interested where y is less than 5, because we've shaded, or it's been shaded underneath 5. Okay, so we can say that y is less than or equal to 5. Okay, because that line is solid. Now we go to the x, and we're seeing here that the shaded area is to the right of the 2. Okay, and it's a solid line, so we can say that x is more than or equal to 2. Okay, because this is shaded to the right, so where x is 2, 3, 4, 5, it's in that area. Now, as I said to you on the inequality video, you should know this line just by looking at it. Okay, I can see that it hits 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So I know this is the line of y equals x. Okay, if you've got a sloped line, y and x will be in the equation. But the shaded area is above y equals x, so it's greater than. So I can say that y is greater than or equal to x. Okay, so it's a very simple question. Okay, so we know it's less than or equal to 5, it's more than or equal to 2, and it's greater than x. Okay, so again, a nice simple question. So I'll stop there and I'll move on to the next question. Okay, so question number 11. A triangle, square and pentagon have a total area of 48 centimeters squared. The area of the shapes are in the ratio of their number of sides. Work out the area of the pentagon. So we just look at this logically. So a triangle has 3 sides. A square has 4 sides. And a pentagon has 5 sides. Okay. So, and this would equal 48, because 3 to 4 to 5 equals 48. So 3 plus 4 plus 5. Remember, ratio is just a question of shares. So we have a share of 3, a share of 4 and a share of 5 equals 48. So this gives us 12, and if you want you can write shares, that's okay. So we have 12 shares. Now we want to know what one share equals. So 48 divided by the total number of shares, which is 12, gives us 4. Okay, so we can say 4 equals, if you want to, 1 share. Now they want to know what's the area of the pentagon. So the pentagon has 5 sides, so this would be 5 multiplied by 1 share, which is 4, so this equals 20. So our answer would be 20 centimetres squared. They put centimetres squared in there. Okay, now if we wanted to check this, just idle curiosity, you don't have to. This is 3 shares, so 3 fours would be 12. This is 4 shares, so 4 fours would be 16. And this is 20 shares. We've just worked that out. Now if we add these together, it should give us 48. So 12 plus 16 is 28, 28 plus 20 is 48. So I can walk away from the exam knowing that that answer's right. Okay. Now we get to something that I'm sure you all love. Rearrange this equation to make C the subject. Okay, so we only have the one C, so that's good. That's one less thing to worry about. But it's stuck in a bracket, so we need to get it out of the bracket. So 2 times A is 2A plus 2 times C is 2C, and that equals, now if we want to, let's multiply this out, but we don't have to because there's no C's in there. Okay, I could have just left that as it was because we're only interested in this anyway. So 2C, so this 2A we want to move because we want to make C on its own. So we have 2C equals 5A minus 5B minus the 2A that we've moved over. Now we have 2C equals, now we have 5A and we've got to subtract 2A, so this gives us 3A minus 5B. Okay, now this is what 2C equals, so C must equal half of this. So C equals 3A minus 5B, and all of this needs to be divided by 2. Okay, so that will be our answer. So C equals 3A minus 5B all over 2. Okay, so that's 3 marks. Okay, so whenever we get brackets here, we want to get rid of the brackets if we can. Get C in a positive position, so if it's not in a positive position, move it so that it is, and then move things around, as they say, rearrange it until you get all the C's on one side and then In this case, we would need to divide by 2. Okay, so I'll stop at that point and I'll go on to the next set of questions.